The challenges, therefore, for us as police forces is that we want to try and focus on problems and problem solving, and we want to try and make sure we can do this better, more sophisticated way, more intelligent and better informed way. We also have a challenge of how we integrate it into police systems and methodologies that aren't always suited for this. So we can go and do, let's say, standard reactive policing in neighbourhoods. That's one way of thinking about neighbourhood policing. But we could also think about neighbourhood policing as the neighbourhood being involved in policing. That's not the same, and it requires police officers to think very differently from the way in which they might if they were doing reactive work in a particular district. We want to be moving away from a strategy that can only be applied in the short term in certain circumstances to deal with particular issues towards this approach becoming normal business. So that requires the police itself, the structures of police, to improve and change the way it thinks about neighbourhood policing, not as a place to drive through and to enforce, but a place where the police are collaborating with the community to enhance the existing public safety arrangements. So we need to make sure that there are clear lines of responsibility and accountability in and through the police into a shared agreement, and that's what we will be using in the LISP pro forma, which is a way of designing a set of solutions and agreeing with them with the residents and with other agencies and organisations, and making sure that everyone's sharing that agreement. And the purpose of using the phrase LISP was in order to signal a shift away from asking the people about their problems and thinking of neighbourhoods as being problems and deficits full of bad things, to asking the general public what their solutions should be. But also being aware that when we implement a solution, we have to maintain the behaviour that we want. We can't just build a community centre or a skate park and expect everything to be wonderful forever and a day. We need to make sure that we have agreement about the practices, the behaviours that are created by that implementation, which is why we coined the idea of a LISP. Rather than asking the general public about their priorities and their problems, we wanted to shift it from to asking about their locally identified solutions and practices. So that's just a very quick introduction. As you can see, that there is lots more to come in this training course. So each of these will be broken up into small segments. But that's a bit of background about why we're doing intensive engagement and the little bit of the ethos that tells us where the LISP journey comes from. Thank you.